I was out walking earlier and I saw the coolest thing. There was this older couple walking up ahead of me, and they were grandma, grandpa age, and it was obvious the way that time, which is undefeated, had taken its toll on their meat suits, and all their hair was gray, and they were obviously in the golden years, so to speak. They were moving at that speed as well. Nice and slow. Not in a hurry to do anything, right? When you're that age. And I'm walking behind them, and all of a sudden, the woman reaches over and grabs the man's hand, and they just start holding hands as they walk. And I wish you could see my face right now. I just started smiling. It made me swell with joy to see that, to watch that kind of thing transpire, which is an act of pure love, right? Because these two people have presumably been together for decades, and to still have that sort of energy to exchange with each other after all that time has passed and still want to do that kind of thing it's a sight to see. It's something to behold. It's like seeing a shooting star in the sky. There's so much going on in the world, but none of that stuff can phase the love that a human being is capable of expressing. It can't do anything to it. It can only temporarily confuse and detach you from it. That stuff in the outside world, as reported to us through the screens, of course. There is suffering all around us. Even those two grandparents might have suffering going on in their life in many different ways, and yet it couldn't stop them from holding hands with each other in a moment of clarity. Pretty cool. Later that same day, I went to the store to pick up something for dinner. And I was talking to the woman behind the counter. And we were having some small talk. I asked her for some suggestions based on what they had. And she suggested something to me that I had never had before. So I told her that. I said, oh, well, I've actually never had that before. I wouldn't even know what to do with it. And she kind of gave me the rundown of the different ways you could prepare it. And I thought to myself, well, you know what? All right, let's do it. So I told her, yeah, I'll take it. And we exchanged a little bit more small talk along those lines. And right before I left, I said, well, let's see how this goes. And she looked at me in the eyes and said, I have faith in you. I know you can do it. Now, you could look at something like that in a very coincidental and innocent way and think, well, she was just a personable individual. She has that kind of attitude where she says things like that to random strangers that come into her store. But if you had been inside of my mind for the days leading up to this encounter, what she said to me would have taken on a whole new meaning. Which is to say that the pieces of paper that I used to buy that food in the store, if those pieces of paper hyperinflated away into nothing to the point where they were worth more as fire kindling than they were to exchange for goods and services, if that happened, I would still be rich beyond my wildest dreams. Understanding what is going on here, of just being alive and aware and communicating with life. I am rich beyond my wildest dreams. And it's easy to forget that. So, just a friendly reminder. All right, later.